Um, this is all really new to me. So my wife and I were talking this afternoon on the drive here. How do you explain this to other people? And we ran out of words. We got really stuck of how to summarize this. And the few times we've tried, you can see other people's eyes, they glaze over, and it's like they could care less, you know. So I was one of those people for a long time. Went to seminary. You don't hear any of this in seminary. You don't hear it in church. You don't hear it in Sunday school classes. You just don't hear it. So this is an eye-opener for me. We've been exposed a little bit here and there. One of the things, I'm very linear in my thinking. Things have to fit together, A to B to C. It's kind of boring for some people, but it's the way my brain works. So what was kind of neat for me today, I took a piece of the notes from yesterday and just went online and started with the first Zionist convention and started following the history up through World War I. And started putting together and expanding a little bit on what Joan had taught yesterday, and getting a whole different perspective on the anti-Semitism that existed from 1897 through the end of World War I. Small piece, but opened my eyes to things that I'd never thought about. And I don't think about anti-Semitism on a normal basis. It's not part of my world. But this has exposed me to new things, to a different way of seeing things. And this afternoon, I got to admit, some of the things that were going on in World War I it's a real eye-opener, and the things that existed. So I will continue up through World War II and who knows where else. The scriptural part tonight was the proverbial trying to take a drink out of a fire hydrant. There's a lot there, but we've got good notes, so we'll follow up. So Joan, appreciate your work. Wish you the best. You're on our prayer list now, and we'll see. I've always had this vision in my mind. I used to be a whitewater canoeist, and I always picture, there's this big river, and it's got a current, and it's moving along, and I can go out there on the river in my canoe, and I can paddle like crazy, upstream, a little bit downstream. I can try and go across the current. I can do whatever I want, but ultimately, the current's gonna take me downstream. That's God's will. And it's always going to win, no matter what I do. I can fight it, or I can go with it. And the more I learn, the more I desire to go with it. And this is a big piece, I think, in getting me up to speed, getting my wife and I up to speed, and we'll see how God uses us in that. So thanks again.